Abrams, listen, there's no other way to put it. The one thing that bothers me considering Abrams and with understanding the historical impact that her nomination would have, some of us truly know that since 2011, Ms. Abrams has been absent when it comes to certain issues. And I'm not speaking of the educational issue because some of the people in her camp don't even have an answer for that. And again, strategically stating between Abrams and Kemp, I think the message is clear, or the selection is clear. But why aren't we holding candidate Abrams more accountable? Why is it that we feel like as black folks, we have to only celebrate an individual, not ask the real tough questions? You know, it was a little disheartening hearing the stance of abolishing the death penalty here in Georgia, which I totally agree. But in 2011, when we had the legal lynching here in Georgia of Brother Troy Davis, we didn't hear this voice then. Why, when it comes to better policing and policy surrounding that and legislation surrounding that, and that's not even on her platform right now, we have not heard from Ms. Abrams. And I know I got a lot of comrades, female comrades, that are neck deep, forehead deep in the movement and are strong supporters of Ms. Abrams. Listen, I'm telling you from a position of someone that's been putting in work with many of our folks here in Georgia that could have been Ms. Abrams' voice then could have been very beneficiary, but it didn't exist. The climate, this political sewer of an arena that the president has caused, you know, has created this quote unquote blue wave, has created this push to make more of an impact on the Hill in DC, to take seats from Republicans. I'm really not party favored. Definitely in the past several years, one particular party, that being the Republican Party, their leadership definitely does not fit my personal agenda or my community's agenda. But I'm not naive to the ills of the Democratic Party, which used to be called the Dixiecrats. So again, I'm candidate driven. So what I would like to hear more of is us holding Ms. Abrams accountable, for us to articulate to Ms. Abrams how much she owes. How much she owes because of the position that she's been placed in during this time period. The emotional roller coaster that is taking place because, again, this political sewer I spoke about. We can hold Ms. Abrams accountable and still promote Ms. Abrams as well. We can ask Ms. Abrams the tough questions and still promote her as well. See, once Ms. Abrams makes history, being the first black female governor in the entire nation, there's a big ticket that comes along with that, especially for those that put her in office. Now, I've got a ton of colleagues and friends that are working on her behalf, and you guys are doing an outstanding job, better than people even thought, an outstanding job. But in that same breath, we owe the people. We owe them the fact that Ms. Abrams needs to be held accountable for her past. And again, so it doesn't get twisted, so it doesn't get snipped and clipped, this is not a pro-Kemp address. Strategically, I feel it is the best selection, Ms. Abrams. But see, the reason why folks felt so good last night about Brother Gillum, and this is not to put Gillum against Abrams, but Brother Gillum has been in the trenches. Brother Gillum has been on the grounds, has been on the right side of right on many initiatives that concerned our communities. We felt good because we're seeing a young man get his just due. Ms. Abrams, to me and others, is a little different. We have to shape, mold, and tweak, in my personal opinion, Ms. Abrams. Now, to her credit, on the campaign trail, Ms. Abrams has been saying some things that are resonating and connecting with folks. But I'm just a little leery on a person who has a long political track record, all of a sudden doing a about face when it comes to certain issues that concern us. And so, you know, it's funny because I won't mention names, but I will say a mayoral candidate, former mayoral candidate of South Fulton. I took the opportunity to ask a couple of questions. And you know what's funny? Because the response really just reiterated to me a couple of things. I'll discuss two. One was the fact that certain people in the new city of South Fulton were totally disengaged, not politically gaining or gaining political power in South Fulton. I mean, on a state level, on a national level. You know, so they don't even really know the disconnect that I was speaking about, or I speak about when it comes to Ms. Abrams. Another thing is, again, we just, for some reason, we're not complex enough to be able to give constructive criticism and at the same time still uplift. We feel like that's damaging. What's the way to do it? Other races do it all the time. Here goes a sister that is very likely to gain the top seat in the state of Georgia, who looks like us, who talks like us, who has similar situations dealing with family issues like us that she has publicly expressed. My whole point in this critique of Ms. Abrams is just to make sure that you understand the ticket